Hey everyone, welcome to Tips and Tea with Linnea FNP. For those who don't know, my name is Linnea Baker. I am a board certified family nurse practitioner. I am a gut health and metabolism coach, and I am very excited to get to be here today to share with you another important topic on our personal health and wellness. And just that focus on overall health, wellness, longevity, and well-being. It is my passion. And not too long ago, I put in our private Tips and Tea Facebook group about what were the biggest struggles people had with their health journey. And we talked about sugar cravings last week. So if you didn't get to see that, there was a lot of great feedback on that. So please check that out if that's something that speaks to you. But today I want to talk about being motivated to exercise. Exercise is one of the main healthy habits we need to incorporate into our daily lives in order to have health, wellness, and longevity. And we're going to break that down. But people are struggling with coming up with the exercise routine and being consistent with it and staying motivated with it. So I thought, because this really does speak to so many people, and I remember being there as well, that we would cover that today. So thanks for joining me, and let's take a journey together today, diving into exercise and how to be motivated. So John Maxwell is the guru and leader in leadership training. And I just love his books. I read a lot of his books. I listen to podcasts with him on them and also his podcast, and they've been exceptional. Really, just he's a phenomenal communicator and a phenomenal person who brings a lot of knowledge and tools to people to help them improve wherever they're at. And so I highly recommend him if you're not familiar. But he says, and this is a direct quote from John Maxwell, "You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine." Guys, this is so true. Just think about that for a minute. Just think about, I heard another, I believe it was Ed Mylett, who also does motivational speaking and helps people with growth and mindset. And I listened to his podcast and read his book, Power of One More. And he also says that you can show him your daily habits and he can tell you your life. He'll tell you, where your life is going based on your daily habits. Isn't that powerful? So that's so important with how we show up for ourselves is going to impact all the things in our lives, okay? So I wanted to mention that because I think I know we always put ourselves last on the list and we don't pour into ourselves. And we really need to start focusing more on what we can do to pour into us so that we can pour into the ones we love. Exponentially, it grows. If we're taking care of us, we're more productive and we're more able to pour into the ones we love. So that being said, when we talk about exercise and motivation, I am finishing up my certification for being a health and wellness coach, and probably something you guys have heard before, but definitely something in that training that we do are called SMART goals. And the acronym SMART stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, time-bound goals. So we want to write goals to help give us direction and set an intention for ourselves and something that we can measure and track. Now, when we talk about being motivated for exercise, my first suggestion, and I do this when I coach clients as well, is we set a SMART goal around it, but we want the goal to be achievable. You don't want to set a goal when you're first getting back into an exercise routine that says you're going to work out 2 hours a day, twice a day, 7 days a week. You're going to run for an hour, all the things. You have to set achievable, realistic goals. And it's very important you do that when you set a goal. And the reason being, when we set a goal that we set in a SMART goal. Let me give you an example of a SMART goal. I will walk for 30 minutes at 7:00 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. It's achievable. It gives me it's timely, right? It tells me how long. It's an action. I'm walking. It's very specific, right? It says I'm going to do this for 30 minutes. And instead of saying 3 days a week, I even broke it down to which days I'm going to do it. Now, that's something that may be an achievable goal for me. Somebody else may be not haven't walked in a long time, maybe have different things going on with their health. Maybe their doctor's given them restrictions on what they can do. Maybe their goal is going to be, I will walk 5 to 10 minutes on 3 days this week in the morning before work. Okay, so that's another SMART goal. Now, if we set the goal too big and we say we're going to work out every day for an hour, or we don't put specifics in it, like the time of the day or before or after work, how long, you want to put in there, the type of exercise or action you're going to take, whether it's weightlifting or you're walking or you're taking a yoga class, like whatever that is for you, be very specific. And then set the goal so it's easily attainable. Because if we don't make the goal attainable, we self-sabotage ourselves. When we are setting goals to change our behaviors, we want them to build our self-efficacy, okay? So goals give us the direction that we want to take. And I always say, what you focus on grows. So in my own health journey and working with clients, when I focus on something specific in my health journey, one of the habits that I want to work on, whatever that is, right? When you put intention into it and you focus on it, it starts to come to your conscious level of your brain, and you actually start, your brain on the subconscious level is looking for ways for you to achieve it too. Okay. It's actually pretty incredible what our mind does. So focusing on an exercise goal is the first step. First, we got to set the goal, make it a SMART goal. It gives us direction. It shows our brain, this is what we're focusing on. It gives us intentionality in that one area that we want to improve on and change or improve in our health. It's achievable because we're building self-efficacy. So even if I were to say I wanted to walk 20 minutes, 2 days a week at 7 a.m. on Monday and Friday this week, I can do more than that if I want. I could walk 3 or 4 days a week that week, but my goal is for 2 days. And if I achieve that goal, that just goes into building self-efficacy and giving myself that confidence and ability to keep going. So we set that goal, and then maybe next week, if I really nailed that goal and I set the goal for 20 minutes, 2 days a week, and the next week I looked at it and I said, wow, I did 30 minutes 4 times that week. So maybe the next week I say, okay, my goal now, instead of 20 minutes twice a week, at 7 a.m. on Monday and Friday, this week, I'm going to change the goal. So I want to make it a little harder because I did really well. So this week, I'm going to say I want to walk 30 minutes instead of 20 minutes. And I'm going to do it 3 days a week in the morning at 7 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, instead of the 2 the week before. So hopefully that helps give you guys a little bit of background on how to set those goals for yourself so that you focus, you have intentionality on that goal you want to achieve, and you build self-efficacy. These things are beautiful ways to improve our health and wellness and give us focus. And I'm focused on exercise today because that's something, like I said, that had a lot of attention, and a lot of people talk about this. So I wanted to give you something that you could use as a tool to get yourselves going. Next, I also, I listen to Mel Robbins. I'll listen to her podcast sometimes. And we did a book club book called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. And it was fantastic, guys. And I highly recommend the things that you're listening to and reading when you're reading these growth and development books and books to improve yourself in health and wellness and mindset and all the things. It really does grow you, and it feeds the brain good, positive things, okay? So that our brain, instead of the negative self-talk that we have, and we'll go into that another day, but everyone has it, negative self-talk, negative wiring. We've touched on it sometimes before, but it helps your brain. It's retraining your brain and rewiring the pathways in your brain to be more positive and to get you out of that negative cycle that we talk to ourselves in, okay? Now, the 5-Second Rule book, if you can get it, great. It'd be wonderful. If not, no worries. The biggest takeaway I want you to have is, say that you are laying in bed in the morning and your alarm goes off an hour before work, and you know that this is your first day that you're going to jump out of bed and you're going to do your goal of your walking goal or whatever your exercise goal is. And then you sit there and you hit snooze and doubt creeps in and you feel like you need more sleep and it's cold outside and you want to stay in bed. All these things start to creep in and cause hesitation. And then we say we don't feel like working out. So in order to build this as a habit and be consistent, we need to decrease the amount of time we hesitate so that the brain can't get us in that negative cycle or talk us out of it. Because when it's a habit, you automatically do it. It's running at your subconscious level and you're not even thinking about it because you know this is your routine. But when you're building a new habit to replace an old habit or to improve your health or whatever that is, we don't want to hesitate because we need that time to get that habit and consistency going. So here's another tool. The first tool I gave you was SMART goals. The second tool is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. It's brilliant. When you lay in bed and your alarm goes off and you immediately think you're going to hit snooze and just kind of you're starting to talk yourself out of it, even though you're not deliberately saying that. It's like your brain starts working against you. I want you to count backwards. This is a Mel Robbins technique. You count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. You just go. When you count, you take over the brain so there's no hesitation or doubt or time for your brain to think and talk you out of it. When you count down, there's nowhere else to go to one. Once you hit 1, if you count upwards, you can keep counting. You count backwards, you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get out of bed. And you've just stopped your brain from working against you and you redirected your thoughts so you're in go mode, okay? It's a tool to give you the how to making a change. So just like we set a SMART goal, this helps you get out of bed. What if you come home from work and you're tired and you got to make dinner, and then you make dinner and you got to clean up the dishes, and your goal was to walk maybe for 30 minutes in the evening before bed. And then you're tired and you're like, well, I got to do this or I got to do laundry. Tell yourself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get your shoes on and go. Okay. It is a powerful tool to help get the control of your brain so that you're taking action and you're asserting control and you're not letting your mindset work against you. It takes away I don't feel like it and puts it into action. And, there's a lot of times we don't feel like doing something. That doesn't mean that we should allow that to decide what we need to do every day, right? I mean, there's people that don't feel like going to work. That doesn't mean you can just not go to work, right? But we also need to put that into our healthy habits. Another tool that I use is an accountability partner. I had a friend recently, someone in our neighborhood. It's funny because I've made a habit out of walking. One of my goals this year was to, and we're going to talk about this, all of the benefits of walking, was to walk every day. Doesn't mean I'm walking a long distance every day, but I was going to walk every day as part of my health and wellness, healthy habits. And so I have been very intentional with that. And because of that, there's a lot of people in my neighborhood that have noticed me walking, and people that I didn't know lived in our neighborhood, people that see me out in other places and say, wait a minute, don't you walk? Don't you live over in this area? And do you walk every day? So other people were catching what I was doing and I didn't even realize it, which is awesome that they associate me with doing this habit, this healthy habit every day. They see me walking, they attach when they see me to that habit. I love it. Well, one lady happened to stop while I was walking and she was driving. She pulled over and kind of said, hey, do you live in the area? How often do you walk? Are you looking for a walking partner? She's like, I really need accountability and I'm feeling good now. I've been focused on my health and I'm ready to get back into the routine, and it would help to have a walking partner. And of course I was like, absolutely. Like I would absolutely love to get to be that person and have that accountability for myself as well. So we started walking together. It's been a few weeks now. And we do 3 times a week because she had her own goals and things she was working on. And then other days I'm with a different accountability partner for my strength training days. So we set it for 3 days a week that we meet at a certain time. And that way I was also working on getting up earlier in the morning. And that was another intention. I've actually been focusing on that one for the last month, of just really having an intentional morning, getting up earlier, starting my day with exercise outdoors if possible, because there's so much benefit to being out in nature and in the sun with the vitamin D and everything early in the morning. So I set that intention. I now have a walking partner. And when my alarm goes off, there was one day I was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, because I was setting the intention and focusing on this walking goal. And now when my alarm goes off, sometimes because I've been focused on this, I actually get up before my alarm, which is a huge blessing. I love those days. But I'm not going to cancel on my friend. I'm not going to cancel. There was one day because I was super sick and she didn't need my cooties. But if I'm not just going to cancel and be a flake and flake out on somebody that also needs the accountability. We're going to be there for each other. We have fun. The walk goes super fast. We talk about life. We talk about healthy habits. We talk about health and wellness. We talk about our families, whatever it is, but it's social, it's fun, it's accountability, and it gets me up and going. And I look forward to the days that I walk with my friend in the neighborhood now. And it's exciting. So that's another thing, is to find somebody who wants to partner with you. It could be doing this with your kids when it's cool enough in the evening. If you're doing a walking exercise, or maybe it's bicycling, but to be able to incorporate families into your health goal, then you don't feel guilty you're doing it because you're leaving your family. You're doing it as a family. And remember, more is caught than taught. So if you're working out as a family, doing something fun together, where maybe it's bicycling or a hike or a walk at night with the dog or whatever it is, it's awesome to do that together, because you are creating generational health, and more is caught than taught. So they're seeing that taking care of themselves and being up and moving, and not sitting in front of the TV at night being a zombie, or sleeping in and hitting snooze on the alarm. They're gonna model those behaviors. So it helps your kids too. The other thing, just to reiterate the benefits of walking, guys, the list goes on, but just having a walking routine, just, any kind of movement is amazing. But walking, you don't have to run. You don't have to be extreme. I posted this in my health group that I coach clients in, and it said, you don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. Guys, I've been doing this for over 3 years. I'm not extreme at what I do, but I do slowly change goals and build new goals as I achieve goals. And I focus on other areas of my health when I see things that need work. I still have goals. I still have places I want to get to with my health and wellness, but I have come a long way in the last 3+ years. And that's because I focus on it and I build these healthy habits. But I started with small steps and I just kept going. And that's how I coach clients too. There are some that like to jump all in, and that's fine. And there's others that just need small changes at a time. They can't wrap their head around a lot at once. And that's okay. Everybody's different. And it's okay, because it's like the tortoise and the hare. A lot of people want that quick fix and go fast, but they burn out, or the program or whatever they're doing isn't sustainable, or they went too hard, too fast, and now they're exhausted and they stop. It's better to be the tortoise and be slow and steady and consistent and build on it and make those healthy habits a part of your life. So when we talk about the benefits of walking, guys, walking, and when I say walking, you want to walk at a moderate pace. Obviously, when I say moderate pace, it's if you're having a conversation, you're a little winded. It's a little hard to have a full conversation because you're walking enough to get your blood circulation going, get your heart rate up a little bit. So walking lowers your blood sugar levels, right? Didn't we talk about before? We say this a lot. Half the country, half the adult population is pre-diabetic or diabetic, and most don't know it. Walking helps lower blood sugar, or any kind of just movement in general, but walking lowers blood sugar. Walking lowers your triglyceride levels. Okay, so those are parts of your cholesterol panel that we want to keep under 150. Walking helps that. Walking boosts your good cholesterol, the HDL, which I've told you is the helper cholesterol in the past. So it boosts the good cholesterol. Walking reduces stress. Walking improves your immune function, guys. Your lymphatic system takes all the, it helps get immune cells to where they need to go in your body. And it also helps take out toxins and things out of your body and get it to your kidneys and liver. Okay. And when you're walking, so your heart is a pump for your blood vessels and it pushes the blood through your body, but the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So you need the contraction of the muscles when you're walking and moving and doing things to help move the lymphatic system to help that function at its optimum. So I remember sitting and watching, and I don't watch news hardly ever, but I did happen during COVID-19 to be watching a news program, and there was a physician in California on there talking about the importance of exercise just to boost immunity and help with overall health because of how it impacts the lymphatic system. And that's a big part of our immune system. So, walking helps boost your immune function. I was just, I told you I was sick recently. I was pretty sick last week. And my daughter got sick, then my husband got sick, and about 2 weeks later, I finally caught it from them. And but I wasn't sick as long as they were because of the things I do to help my immune system. So my husband still got this lingering cold going on, and mine's done finally, but it did hit me. And it did take me down. And I told you I had to not go walking with my friend, which I felt awful about, but I was too sick and I didn't want her to get sick. However, as soon after the first 2 days, and I think after the first 2 days, by day 3, I was like, I'm good enough to get a short walk in. And then I took, I rested. And then, the day after, it was like every other day, I did another walk. Now, I was still sick and trying to recover, but I knew that I was at the point where sometimes you have to weigh, can you really walk or not? In my situation, I was getting better and I was tired and I was run down, but getting up and doing a 1 mile walk or 1.5 mile walk for me, because I usually walk much longer, was a good way to get myself back on track and get my immune function just primed and working for me. So I got myself up and walked. And I do believe that all the things I did to help take care of myself helped me heal faster than, unfortunately, my husband, who's still having trouble. And it's not because he doesn't want to walk. The poor guy has bad knees from 25 years in the military. So we are working on some alternative ways for him because he has problems with his knees, and walking for exercise can make it worse instead of better. So again, there's different situations and people are different, right? Also, walking helps manage your weight. It helps support weight loss. It reduces cravings. It actually reduces inflammation. When we talk about chronic inflammation, and I've covered that a lot, but I will cover it again because sometimes we just need to hear it in different ways or at different times to catch more information from it. And we also have a lot of new people that I want to be able to introduce to some of these key buzzwords that are going on. So it reduces chronic inflammation. It also lowers the risk of breast cancer and colon cancer just by walking, reduces the risk of heart disease, helps you burn fat. Walking improves your memory and reduces your risk of dementia. They're actually calling dementia and Alzheimer's diabetes type 3 because of the blood sugar involvement in those types of diseases. But remember, walking lowers blood sugar. Well, it also improves memory and reduces your risk of dementia. It's all tied in. Walking increases your energy. When I get up and have an intentional morning routine, which I've been really getting hyper focused on and intentional on this summer to improve it from where it was, I will tell you, getting out of bed, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Getting my walk in early in the morning, right? When I first get up, I first work out as soon as I get up. It really does increase my energy and make me more productive throughout the day. I feel like I get so much more done on the days I work out. And like I said, the days that I don't, I feel much more tired and less productive. It increases your creativity. This is something else I got from my coaching classes and things that I've been studying. When you walk, and especially being like outside in nature, your creativity can really go up through the roof. And I noticed that with me. being out and exercising, my creative capacity goes through the roof, where when I'm creating content for you guys or bringing value to clients or just things I've been troubleshooting and wanting to work on, my creativity is through the roof when I do this. Walking also improves your mood. It decreases stress, right? It can also boost your mood because of all those positive endorphins that come. And it also improves your cognition, so that ability, your brain function. It improves sleep. We all know how important sleep is. We've talked about that before. And walking also strengthens your bones and muscle. And I want to focus on the muscle piece. I've been reading a book, and we're going to probably focus on some things in this book later on as some topics for tips and tea. But it's Young Forever by Dr. Mark Hyman, who's a functional med doctor. Many of you may know him, like have seen his work or seen him through different, whether it's on the internet or there's podcasts that he gets on, different TV shows he's been on to talk. But he talks about how to stay young, how to age gracefully, right? How to increase longevity. And one of the big things he talks about with aging is that people have part of aging is sarcopenia. And sarcopenia is the loss of muscle mass with aging. And we need to in order to age well and have longevity, we really have to fight that muscle loss or sarcopenia. And how do we do that? We've got to move. We've got to move. We've got to get up and we've got to be active. And in this culture, in the United States and this society with all the technology we have, it's easier and easier and easier to be sedentary. Okay. There's great things that have come with technology and all the things we have, but we have to be even more intentional with being active and moving. And so as we're aging, one thing I know I want for my health is that as I get older, I still want to be able to hang out with my grandchildren and my nephews and go hiking and travel and be active with them and not be the grandparent that can't get down and do things with them or go out and play or hike or have fun. I want to have that that health and wellness, that quality of life where I can get up and live life on my terms and I'm not debilitated or becoming frail. And we just have to be more intentional as we get older to focus on these things. So focusing on my health and wellness, building healthy habits, making sure I'm intentional with moving every single day. I told you guys that now one of my things that I've been doing this year is focusing on how many days a week I exercise. And I have incorporated walking into every single day now. May not be the same amount of time every day, but I walk every single day. Whereas for a while I was my goal was 4 to 5 days a week. Now it's 7 days a week of walking. And the reason I did that is I do work from home or work from my phone. And I do a lot of creating content and on my computer. And so I'm not as active during the day. And I decided it was very important for my overall health and wellness to incorporate some kind of movement into every single day. And so for me, it was walking. And I will tell you, I am noticing huge benefits from doing that for myself. So I hope that this brought you guys value. As I've said before, I am not your personal healthcare provider. So your personal healthcare provider knows you best. And if you are being followed by someone for a chronic medical condition, or you take medication, maybe you've had an injury or an orthopedic surgery in the last year, you really need to follow up with your personal healthcare provider who knows you best to figure out what your parameters are for starting any kind of exercise routine. So just to make sure that you're safe, because we want you to improve your health. We don't want you to get injured or do something that could hurt you. Movement is great, but everybody's different. So just make sure if you're starting a new exercise routine or a new nutrition program, and you, like I said, you have a chronic illness, you take medications, you're followed by a specialist, maybe you had orthopedic surgery or you had an injury, then check with your personal health care provider to get guidance specific to you. Guys, I'm on a mission to positively impact your health and wellness through education and coaching, to create generational health and a health span that equals your lifespan. Please reach out to me if you're frustrated, feeling overwhelmed, don't know where to start, nothing's worked. Trust me, I get you. I've been there. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I get to do now. I have tools and I have ways to help you to achieve whatever your personal health goals are. I can individualize a plan for you. You can comment below, you can private message me, or you can email me. My email is my first name, Linnea, Linnea, with a dash or a hyphen, Baker, Baker, at live, Liv as in Victor E.com. Until next time, guys, please be safe and know I'm so grateful for each of you. Thanks again and good luck on those goals.